Appeals. We have a very short meeting tonight. I think the only thing we're going to do is elect officers. The Merriman application has been put off.
Oh, that's what it was.
That's what all, I guess it wasn't well communicated. Yeah, it's next, on account of not being able to herd all the lawyers into the room at the same time. Next Wednesday, I think at 3 is what they were shooting for. And I think I saw from the emails that we have a quorum, so apparently that's going ahead, barring more attorney drama, I guess. But I guess the only other thing I would note on that, if you folks didn't see it, there was an error in the application, and we got a revised application by email today, and I assume you can get printed copies from the codes office if you'd like them. So, election of officers. We have nominations
For what position?
for chair.
All right, I'll nominate David Z.
She beat me to it. I was going to nominate you, Pat.
I will second that
With David.
with David.
David.
Okay.
Any discussion?
No?
So can I just make a couple of comments,
You sure
Yes.
can.
which is some learning in this, in the context of this 50-page package that we got recently. Like everybody else on this committee, I'm busily engaged in life elsewhere along with this committee in a role that demands much less of me than it has demanded of you, Mr. Chair, for as long as you have been the chair. I did that deliberately. I'm on the Mitchell Field Committee, I'm on the Budget Committee, and I'm on this committee. And that's a pretty good load, and I've been thinking lately about how I lighten that load. And it probably involves one of those other two committees as opposed to this one. I went into this blind, so I got this the same way you did. I got it via email, and I looked at it, and my first reaction was, oh no. Second reaction was, I better start reading this, and I read through the meaningful parts of this at least twice. And absent any other sort of discussion or communication, I was left wondering, what the hell are we going to do with this? First reaction was, this is a point of law that's in contention here. We need a lawyer. 2, I'd really like to understand the deliberations at the planning board. 3, I'd like to understand, it's always helpful to me to get the codes office perspective on a little bit of the history here. So I ran around a little bit like a chicken with its head cut off over the last few days, talking to Amy Heibel, who was then head of the planning committee and the signatory on the decision that they rendered, and all of the rest of those folks, and found out that in fact we had hired counsel specifically for the Board of Appeals, not Amy, and that would represent us at the coming meeting. So I recite that only to say that this role is on occasion, unpredictable occasion, quite demanding. Because I think it requires, and I've underestimated all the work that you've done in the past. I'm glad I didn't have to think too much about that, because you've done a wonderful job shepherding us in the right direction. But it's a serious engagement. And so what I would say is, I'd be glad to do it, but I also would like not to be a surprise for everybody, for me to, a year from now, sort of ask myself whether or not I can meet the demands of this particular role, which I think is probably one of the more demanding roles, in a way, of the committees that I'm aware of.
I would say that it's technically demanding.
Yeah,
It's not-
that's what I mean,
yeah,
technically.
It's not not awfully demanding as far as time goes, just because.
Well, you've done it
don't-
for a long time. With all, with all due respect, your knowledge is, one, you're a smart man. Two, the knowledge you've accumulated over time in dealing with this is quite impressive, and it shows. So I will guarantee you I will struggle for a little while, and I will need your advice and counsel.
I'm not going anywhere for the short
Okay.
term anyway, so I'll give you all my cheat sheets.
Okay.
I'll give you my.
But I wanted you to hear that, and I also think that we need to, if it's possible, process-wise, figure out how we get the communication working a little bit more fluidly, so that we.
I'll tell you, I've always relied on the codes office. I try not to communicate, just because I don't think it's a great idea for us to be talking, other than scheduling issues.
Yeah.
And I think it's also important that there be a record of that communication
Yeah,
here in the code.
and I understand that,
so-
but I'm literally talking about what you are, which is the communication between the town office and the committee, the delivery of materials, in a timely fashion. That's primarily what I'm talking about, because on the three committees, there's one, I feel like I get bushwhacked regularly, which I do. Two, this one works well in normal circumstances, and the budget committee is perfect, because you've got so many people at town office communicating that. It's a well-honed process over the many years. So if you guys will accept an individual as chair who thinks that way and has those thoughts, I'd be glad to accept the nomination. Otherwise, no hard feelings. I'd be glad to have anybody else do it.
I don't see any other volunteers. All in favor?
No, yes.
I've always, I've learned through the years that, and as you said, you're a busy guy, a busy person. And if you want something done, you ask a busy person to do it. Because they're used to it. So, yeah, I think David would, good.
Anybody else? Any comments? I think you can vote, Ann. I mean, as an associate or member of the board, I don't think there's any reason.
Do I vote on this or not?
I
Or
think
just
so.
on a decision?
I don't see why not. I mean,
Okay.
Yeah, I don't
Okay.
know. I would only make sense to me that you would have a vote on this. So, all in favor? Motion carries. Secretary. We're gonna, Steve, you've been our secretary.
I was
right?
the secretary last
Not
year.
not quite as much pressure. You have to write the annual report for the town meeting, that's
Yeah,
all.
I did that, and now I just did the minutes, you write,
No.
I mean, you transcribe them, or
No,
do you
no,
note them?
No, the,
Actually, yeah,
there's somebody in the town office,
Okay.
I think there's a person now doing minutes for all the committees. And the last one we got, they had done and did a very good job. I think with Margaret's maybe input, but, so yeah, it's not minutes.
It's decisions.
The notice of decision is, and I'm,
It's the
I'm willing to help you
decision
on that.
It's
Yeah,
the
okay.
decision.
The problem with the
little
notice of
handholding would be helpful.
decision
yeah,
is
he
the
writes
fact-
it right notice.
the fact that it has to be done in a week.
Yeah.
And for simple stuff, we've always tried to do it right there and get it done and get it signed.
Yeah.
I think when it's something more
Everything's
controversial,
fresh.
or more complicated like this, then, well, last time I wrote them, Amy marked them up, and I signed them myself. The problem with, we've got different advice over the years about signing them. The old previous town attorney insisted that we all had to sign in person at a meeting. Prior to that, for
I
several years.
remember that, I remember something.
Yeah, prior to that, I was writing them up myself after the meeting, signing them myself and just handing them into the office, which worked fine. But that was apparently unacceptable. Although, but on the other hand, this last time, Amy let us off the hook and let us do that. So
Oh, okay.
I think she was being pragmatic, that it was a case where nobody was gonna complain, and, yeah, that's, and we do have, supposedly gonna have some training coming up. Which we get opportunity
Yeah,
to get.
a workshop,
some of
I
that
heard
stuff.
that.
Yeah, some of the stuff answered, so.
Would you be willing to share this, what was supposed to be the main event at this meeting next week?
I would prefer not to. Only because I don't know what's gonna get done in one meeting. I mean, one advantage to taking it over, and this is, you're gonna have the legal counsel there, and they'll guide you.
Yeah.
It's, yeah. I mean,
Okay.
I'll, if it comes down to it, it may be that the lawyer writes the notice of decision. If it comes down to it, and I work with you on writing the notice of decision, I'm even willing to take notes. That's always been frustrating to me. The chair is expected to write the notice of decision and keep track of all that stuff while conducting the meeting. And,
Right, that's-
it almost would make sense to have somebody else taking notes and
Do that.
writing the notice of decision. So
Okay.
I'd be willing to do that.
Okay. Well, if I look at you like this, bail me out.
And I'm certainly willing to speak up if you don't mind.
No, no,
If there's
please,
something-
please.
if there's something, I
I
think,
would expect everybody would do that. I
Yeah.
think the way we always have.
All the meetings are recorded, right?
yes. Yeah. Yeah, and that's another reason that it's nice to be able to write the notice of decision after the fact. If there's something not clear, you can look at the recording and get it. You don't have that advantage writing it, on the spot that evening. But I personally, I think the 7-day requirement to file a notice of decision is unreasonable. It's just too fast for a citizen,
Private citizen.
for lay
Yeah.
people to do that kind of a task and get it filed and get it signed. It's just a really tight schedule, and I'm sure it's so folks can have plenty of time to appeal that decision to Superior Court. There's a deadline for that too. But I just think it's, in light of how complicated everything is getting, I just think it's an unreasonable ask. But that's what we're stuck with. So.
I think it's a good idea, actually, to ask our attorney to put together a draft notice of decision
Yeah.
for us. We can mark that up, but it will probably be a fairly technical one, would be my guess.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, but everyone's gonna vary substantially, right? The notice of decisions.
I'm just talking about this one.
Oh,
Yeah.
this guy here. yeah.
Most of them are pretty straightforward. Well, we have a motion. Well, we didn't make a motion. I move that we nominate Steve Musica as secretary.
Second, third?
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries. Any other business? Any questions about the,
Who's,
Who's on first?
they're gonna record this meeting? They're,
this meeting, the seat right now?
right here.
Yeah, it's being recorded.
It's being recorded, and they're gonna transcribe it into,
There'll be minutes.
There'll be minutes.
Minutes.
Say
okay.
what the decision was about the officers.
Anything else?
Do we have any schedule for these future workshops at all?
No, I think that was gonna be on the agenda next week, was discussing a schedule for the workshop. And I think the other thing that was on there, the minutes from our last meeting were not ready yet, so we'll be taking that up.
That wasn't clear. I wasn't quite sure what was, I didn't spend a lot of time. I saw this email, was it an email or a text? I can't remember.
There was an email.
An email came
alluding
through,
to
and
it.
I thought, there's another case that I wasn't
No.
paying attention,
Yeah.
really what was too much. So is that 3 o'clock?
3 o'clock is what they're shooting for, and it looked to
A
me
week,
like that
a
was.
week from today, 3
Yes.
o'clock.
But
It
it's
was 3
shooting
o'clock
for-
because the
it's not-
planning board meets at 6 or 6:30.
Okay. 3 PM on the 15th.
Well, I'd wait for confirmation on that. They were still
No, not the
rounding up
15th.
lawyers, but I'm pretty
On the
sure,
17th.
I'm pretty sure that was a date that all the lawyers said they could make it. So,
And if that's confirmed, then we can erase the one for the following week. Is that right?
yes, I think that one's out of the question, because I think one of the.
And you'll still be
would not
here.
Make it,
Oh.
period.
I
Yes.
saw something about you're
Yes.
going the next day.
This was for the
No, and I
workshop?
wrote back and
or-
said,
No,
I'll be
this
here
is
for
for-
that meeting.
Yeah, yeah, right.
But I think.
Whatever
form
we're
anyway.
going to meet about. Okay.
For this appeal,
Okay.
they had initially tried to schedule it for the 24th, and for whatever reason, that wasn't going to work. And I think it was because the attorney that they've engaged to represent us couldn't make it.
Couldn't do it.
Yeah.
And it's past time for the codes to close for this month. If there's an application, if there's a beef about
I
something,
think the
codes.
12th, I think the 12th
Oh,
was
it's
the
the
date that they used, but, yeah.
Okay.
Ned, who
There's a
would-
cutoff.
Who is the attorney that has been engaged?
I can't remember the name. It was from, the firm was something Isaacson,
Isaacson?
or something Isaacson is the firm, which I think is another big firm, so.
And this is a land use attorney?
Apparently, somebody with municipal land use experience. Anything else?
I move we close
Yeah,
the
that was
meeting.
my last act.
Oh,
Mr.
I'm sorry,
Chairman.
you go right ahead.
We're adjourned.